Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do some organizing. So if you watched some of the shop with me videos, you know I got some stuff to organize, a cube organizer for baby Luna, and I'm going to show you what we do. We're going to use the piece of foam board and the box cutter, and then we're going to show you the under the bathroom storage, so stay tuned. First, you're going to need a piece of foam board, something to write with for marking. Then you're going to need a cutter of some sort, the bottom of the box or the box dimensions, and something to cut on. I'm using a magazine. So this is the bottom of the box, and I measured that the box is this tall. Okay. We need to make the squares this diagonal because it's going to be like an X inside the box, like a wine. Like the way they store wine. You know, like they make those little triangle cubbies. So it's fairly simple. We just have to match the corners. See that? Now, I think we have to do it the other way. Okay. That was the part that I wasn't sure about. So it looks like we're only going to get one out of each piece of board, which is okay. That's all we need. So we're going to match this corner, and we're going to line this up over there, and just make sure you double check that once you didn't move that. Okay, and then you have to mark, that's how wide you need it. Okay? Now since we know the box is this tall, because I put this inside the box and that's how tall it was, we could use this as a straight edge too, because it is a piece of cardboard in there. And then we know how tall to make it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to tell you guys a few times because this is the best box cutter or X-Acto knife or straight blade that I think I've bought in, I want to say forever. It was super sharp. It comes with all of these extra blades, and I'm seriously considering going back to the dollar store on Memorial to get some more because I don't see them all the time, and it's just one of those items that you're like, oh, I could totally get my money's worth out of this. And I mentioned before, every time we cut a piece of foam board, you need a super sharp edge to cut through both sections, or you could pull the back piece of paper. This one cut like a dream, and then later I stacked two pieces and it cut through both at the same time, which was amazing. You just have to make the blade long enough. And now we're just going to use this to make another one. Okay? No comments from the peanut gallery. I am having the most amazing time with baby Luna. She and I just sit and talk all day. She'll talk like that, and I'll talk to her like we're having a conversation, and she really loves the engagement. But then sometimes when I'm not engaging, she just talks and sings, you know. Can anybody think of a reason why we want to use the inside bottom piece as opposed to using the box itself? I'm sure some of you have guessed it. It's because we know the inside fits inside. The outside piece, I'm going to have to trim it down and trim it down and trim it down. This cutter is amazing. It's cutting so beautifully. Now we have to find the middle. So what I've done is I've cut off a piece of scrap, because again, I'm here and I have no ruler. I've cut off a piece of scrap, and I'm going to cut how wide it is, and then I'm going to fold that in half and find middle, okay? And now that I know where middle is, I have to make sure that it is at least one of this thickness wide. So I'm going to put this right up against here, because that's middle, and I'm going to put half of it on this half of the fold and half of it on that half of the fold. And I'm going to mark on both sides. And now I have my center point. And now let's find middle the other way. Excuse the chorus. Okay. So now, if you can see, this isn't exactly middle. One side shorter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the longer side how deep I want it to cut. And why we're doing that is because, hold on, let me just find the factory edge. Why we're doing that is because if you cut them too shallow, then they won't nest properly, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna mark it like that. You can see. Let's see. So this is a thickness, and it's a little deeper, a little taller than half. And I'm gonna cut the exact same piece in the other piece, and we'll nest them together. Right? Good job. How'd you get all the way over here? Yes, ma'am. So I am not realizing as I'm cutting it that I don't have it perpendicular to the bottom. But I'm going to correct that later. And I mentioned before that this box is a rectangular shape, but you could do this with square shaped boxes as well. This particular set of boxes is from Walmart. It's the Better Homes and Garden line. But they go in the IKEA holder. So now I'm going to keep this for the thickness, but I'm going to do this for the position. And guess what? That's totally not straight up and down. It really looked like it was straight before. So what I can actually do is I can actually make it a little wider if I need be. Okay, let me find center again. Okay. And let me use this for squaring. Okay, let's try that. Make it a little wider. Okay. This one is definitely square. So, quick story about the conversation going on in the background. When a couple of months ago, Eden took a picture of her looking like she was having a meeting with all of her stuffed animals. And I always tell everybody, she's in a conference and she's yelling at them. Okay, so one is significantly shorter. Let's check them against this. So one of them is, they're both significantly too tall, which is okay. We can deal with that. So I'll show you again. When I held this up, they're both, oh wait, you know what? They're on the other side. Yeah, now they're significantly taller. Don't ask me how that happened, but we'll trim them both down. And let's see if they fit like this. So not only is it taller, but not only is one piece taller than the other, but when I fit them onto this rectangle, actually let me fit the back so you guys can see how much off it is. It's off by that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim each piece down and then we'll fix it. So I went ahead and I also made that one that was not square. It's a little wide, the opening, but it's okay. It will work in there, especially when the clothes are in there. But then we'll check the measurements. So it is 100% perfect. Now it fits. Let's see how tall. It is perfectly not too tall for the box. Excellent. So when we put it in, I'll show you how it looks. You can cover the pieces individually with contact paper, and that'll just make them a little bit more stable and sturdy and wearable. I guess wearable is the right word? Yeah. Okay. So here's what we were dealing with before. It was basically all the clothes just in a one giant bin. So this is how it fits in perfectly. Now this is a rectangle, so then 2 of the triangles will be shorter and fatter, and 2 will be longer and thinner. And the next step you want to do is organize all the clothes. So she decided to organize them into 4 categories for this box. The categories being rompers, pants, tops, and onesies. And we just marked the tops of the box so that you could see it when you pull it out at a glance. Oh, look, we have help. Nolly, come to help? Join the party. Girls only. Maddie, stay out.
Or I can even put them the other way.
Yeah, if you put them
because
like...
then we can see them like...
Yes, like the Japanese, like,
yeah, let's do
organizer
like,
lady.
And then wait, were we doing tops in the same one?
Tops are in the towards you.
Tops, pants, and rompers. No, wait. I thought we were doing... pajamas.
In the whole other bin.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The other bin will be pajamas and bathing suits. Yeah.
Okay.
Like stuff that's not every day. Well, pajamas are every day, but you know what I'm saying. Well, then let's do the...
we can switch it, maybe?
Yeah,
Let
we
me
can.
see. Hold on, wait.
Oh, or like that.
Because it doesn't have to be...
So there's a Japanese organizer lady who does how you fold your clothes so they're like super organized, and she stacks everything up like that so you can see everything.
That's smart.
So you just picked it off the top of your head and you didn't even know about it.
I just gave it a go.
You sure did.
Rompers.
They're sort of like adjustable, aren't they?
Yeah, because they make it, and it'll fit in.
Oh
there.
yeah,
We'll
the big container. Will
I think I'm
hold it
gonna
tight.
stick bottoms like this with tops since we don't have that many. Right? Because all that's going in another one. Oh, it's so pretty.
So cute. Okay.
So you can see now in the after how they're slightly adjustable, which is great. And she could stack the clothes in 2 layers. And here's the before of under the sink in her bathroom.
So as you can see, she already utilized her nail polishes. She's such a good girl.
Yeah.
But here's all the stuff that we have to try to find spaces for. Let's do it. So she said, what do we do? So I'm going to tell her that if you watched us organize her sister's closet, the best thing to do is pull out everything, get rid of whatever you don't want. If you want everything, just decide, prioritize what can go in the back that you don't use as often, what needs to be up front, and all of the details like that, okay? So here we go.
So preliminary, we just take some baskets and we had to have used them to corral these sections because her bathroom's kind of tiny and doesn't have a lot of floor space. But if you have room in your floor to just lay stuff out into piles, we utilized every inch of the sink counter, the edge of the bathtub, and put stuff preliminary in these baskets. So there were some unusual items under her sink, like her iron. She doesn't know why it was there. But we relocated that to the guest bathroom. And she had emergency stuff when she was pregnant, like a blood pressure monitor, which again went into the guest bathroom because it's not something she needs, but it's something she's nice to have, as well as her the fetal recorder, like where you could talk to the baby when she's in your belly. So we relocated that just in case, she ever wanted to use it again. And everything else we just put with its groups. What's really great, if you remember, if you watched Emily's, organization video, it's good to do your piles first because then you could see which container you could use for each, like how much of it you have. You don't want to start putting your stuff into a small container and then realize you have extra, then you'll have to move it over and over again, which is a option that you have to do anyway. Sometimes you have to like trial and error, but to definitely get off to a good start. That's why we bought so many variety of containers from the Dollar Tree, because we didn't know exactly what we would need, what would fit back into the space together. As you can see when we're done, or by the finished product, we end up using a lot of different varieties of sizes and shapes to make just everything work for her. All right. So what we did in the back is we put her extra hair stuff. She has quite a few hair appliances. She has a lot of hair. I'm very jealous. But she put in the bin in the back on the left all of her extra hair stuff. Extra ponytail holders are in that makeup bag, her extra appliances, and then she put her husband's, Anthony, stuff in the bin on the right. His trimmer that he sometimes gives himself a quick clean up on his haircut, but not often, and his trimmer oil and all that extra stuff that goes in there, he put it on the right. Extra shaving cream and stuff like that. Okay. Then we tried to put the current hair appliance stuff in the flexible bag, but we see in a minute we're going to end up changing that around as well. So then I asked her how often she uses her bath pillow, and she says never. So we didn't get rid of it. We just took the air out of it because there might come a time where she wants to take a luxury possibly with Luna when she gets a little bigger. They could take a bath together, which is a lot of fun. So we took the air out of it and we put it in the guest bathroom as well. All right, and then we just worked on some of the containers. So she had a beautiful basket under here that I've been eyeing since it was her mother's 10 years ago, and I think I might actually have gotten it now. But we might repurpose it in her house. I'm just kidding. But anyway, she had a beautiful basket under there, but it really just corralled a couple of perfumes. So I was like, we could downsize that. We have these little baskets that were the 2-pack, and we've taken the command hooks from the Dollar Tree and hung it on the inside of the door. It actually worked out really well for all of the little things. So she's got little guest soaps, little guest shampoos, things that are left over from when they travel, all little things that can fit there. And actually she liked that storage system so much, we might actually use the other ones on the other door as well. But anyhow, you can also hang stuff on your door. So if you have a curling iron or a hairdryer that has a loop on it for hanging, you can also just put a command hook on the inside and hang it on the inside of your door. That's another option for you guys. All right, and now what we have here is we took a long tray. As I told you previously, she put those little Rubbermaid containers, she put her nail polishes in already. So then we took the long tray and we put in her cotton balls and her nail polish remover and the 2 buckets, and it slid perfectly right under the pipes. But it's still all corralled in a basket, so it's all together. She just needs to pull out that basket to get to her nail kits. Okay? And now we are trying to figure out where to put these perfumes. I thought that they were more than there actually was, so I was suggesting this pretty basket. But then we ended up just putting in one of the teeny baskets with the silver handles, and it sat right on top of her nail kit, because again, this is not something, they don't wear perfume and cologne on a daily basis. It's really for special occasions when they go out. So it's not something like, again, they access all the time. I had suggested putting them on display because they're quite pretty. But since she's renting and she doesn't want to put up a shelf and she doesn't have a ton of counter space. We're just going to go ahead and store them, okay? So now these stacking bins from the Dollar Tree are awesome. I didn't realize though how little the bottom one is, but it's perfect. She put her facial wipes and skincare all in the bottom, and on the top she put her makeup. So it's literally one scoop. She can pull out both racks, rest it on the back of her toilet or on her counter if she wants to get out her entire face regimen and makeup products. Again, when she goes out. She doesn't wear makeup on a regular basis either, but if you do, obviously, you do what works for you guys, okay? And then these two baskets, as you know, stack when you just turn that sideways like that. So in those, she put feminine hygiene products in the bottom one, and in the top one is all bug and sunblock and all that stuff that's on top. And now we needed to find an extra bucket space, and these two oval buckets worked really well side by side perfectly in this space. So in one of them we put her hair stuff, we relocated her hair stuff, and the other stuff we did all of her tooth stuff, okay?
I love it! I know, it looks really good. I'm glad. It's like totally different. You're like the queen of this. No, actually, I just follow. I don't come up with the ideas.
I don't know. Take it all out.
And you could probably split it too. Is there like medicine and then...
Yeah, I don't even know. We've been using it.
Well, this is your opportunity to throw it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not because you want to
I'm
make
just
it
gonna
baby,
keep it.
Here, give me the garbage out of the little one. You can
Split it out.
Yeah.
So this is cat shampoo. This is before we had a baby, when we cared for our cats. No,
Hey, you lying. You lying.
they're annoying. That's for the fleas. That's for...
Okay, hopefully. Side by side.
Well,
Then it does. Oh, can I stack?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just stuff in there. We don't care. It's not like okay. There you go.
Oh, hold on, it's gonna bother me. I have to get it straight. I'll put the bottles this way.
There you go. So we don't, see, that's going to be so close to even that you're not even going to know.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay. This looks so close, right?
now, that's not too hard for this basket, right?
Let me think. I didn't think about that.
No, it's
Maybe
okay.
we'll have to switch these around.
A little bit, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, we can switch these.
Yeah, that works for me. It's about trial and error.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have to move that. That's going to have to move too. The cat stuff. You're going to have to move behind that still, yeah. No, it was behind the stack of things. Yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
I was like, why is this happening? Okay.
That was
And then this is the
yeah,
middle.
yeah.
And this, and then...
And that. Mouthwash.
So that's it, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up for Eden. What she rocks, right? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in seeing how we organized. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. And when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye.